How's it going, everybody? We are live. We are live. We have a special guest today. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Isabel Alarcon. So here I am participating in one of my first podcasts. So I'm excited to hear what we can start.
Yeah, so we have a really light conversation just to start it off. So my question is, because I've been getting this a lot from people, is do people really date anymore? That's something that I always wonder, because I see a lot of relationship statuses and I feel like no one's really in a relationship anymore. I feel like people are just with each other with benefits. That's how I'm feeling. I don't think people are actually committed like they used to be back in the day. And when I say refer to back in the day, I always refer to the 90s, but I wasn't dating in the 90s, so
I think I was a teenager. I was trying to figure out how to use my beeper.
Exactly. So it's a little different. That's how I refer it. Anything pre-2000s is what I say back in the day. So I mean, what's your thoughts on that? I mean,
you know what? I'm getting out of a relationship now that lasted for like a long time, right? And I'm curious myself of what a date means nowadays. What's the meaning of dating?
That's a good question.
I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking that maybe if I could go to those 1990s of like the theory of what it could be, it's like perhaps inviting somebody to a nice dinner, nice lunch, and having a good conversation.
Yeah, I feel like the reason why people really aren't dating like the traditional way like we remember is because everybody's on their cell phone. So they say all this type of stuff on the phone, but yet when they come to person, it's like deer staring at headlights. So they just don't know what to say. Things are awkward, and no one's really striking a conversation. And I feel like they just want to get straight to the point rather than kind of build into it.
Oh, well, we're living in a, what are they called? ADD generation?
Yeah,
that we want everything fast now and ahora.
Yep, and ahora, right now.
Right now. You know, it's interesting because I'm curious. Just I hope that I'm able to go back out there and just, you know, have the opportunity to meet different people. I love a good conversation. I love intellectual conversations. I find it stimulating and awesome to be able to learn something new every day. And I don't know, if you take me out on a date, please put your phone away.
They don't even know what my phone looks like. It's pretty much gone because I feel like, to me, it's rude. So when I see I'll be on dates and they just pull out their phone, it's they won't even apologize. Some do, some don't. But it's just like the moment you pull out your phone, you're just bringing it down and down and down for me. Like, it's less likely for me to really get a second date from you because of that, because your attention, it's like I'm having a date with like 3 other people, or maybe 4 or 5.
Well, you know, I'm in my early 30s, right? So I'm like in between millennial and the other generation. So in my mind, you know, I guess we just really have to it's all about having good energy, you know. I'm a big believer in that, like having affirmations every morning, being able to put yourself in a positive mindset. You know, right now I'm going through a lot of transitional changes, both on a professional and a personal level. But, you know, honestly, anytime where I start with negative thoughts in the morning, I'll let you know that my day turns out to be pretty negative.
Yeah, you gotta pretty much speak your day or whatever
Absolutely.
goal
into existence. Like,
yep.
when you read all these books and you refresh your memory, it's like a refresher course of always having that positive energy surrounding you. So the first thing you need to just, when you wake up, is be like, dude, I'm alive here on earth. Let's enjoy this day and let's make the best of it, and you know, just try to be as productive as possible. And hopefully you'll be able to, you know, find that person that kind of is on the same frequency when it comes to what's going on in your life. And somehow you are able to create good chemistry, good conversation, because the basis of real good fundamental relationships, in my opinion, whether it's, you know, politics, whether it's personal, whether it's family, whether it's work related, it's on having good chemistry and good positive energy. It's
Absolutely.
a good foundation, and being able to be open-minded, open discussion, being able to respect each other, and good friendships and awesome relationships start out as friends, right?
And I was just about to piggyback on that, and I'm glad you said that, because people want to have a boyfriend / girlfriend or whatever it may be, and they forget the friend part. You know, it's boyfriend, girlfriend. It's not just boy or girl, you know. And then they get mad like, oh, we have nothing in common, we're not doing anything, because you guys weren't trying to be friends. You guys were just trying to be sex buddies, and you didn't acknowledge that in the beginning, and that's why it led to, oh wow, we really aren't great for each other. Because how you treat your friends is you know, is something cool, unique. You look forward to going chilling with them regardless, and there's no sex related at all. So I think it should be the same thing applied when you have a significant other and you're friends, and then the sex is a bonus. I don't understand why people make that like the main foundation. I think that's something that needs to change within yourself. If that's the only thing that you're trying to grasp for, you should definitely reevaluate yourself and think like, is a relationship meant for you? Because it's called a relationship, not a sectionship or whatever. I tried.
Wow,
it.
okay,
Tried it.
you try with that one. No, I think it's so important for you to just really connect with somebody. You know, call me old-fashioned or whatever you may say, but there's nothing better than starting out a good relationship via friendship.
Yeah.
Getting to know the person, you know, seeing how you guys can kind of have some similarities. Like, for example, I love going to the gym. I love coffee. I love drinking tea. You know, I've been doing this no alcohol and no sugar diet for the last 3 months, and it's done wonders. So I'm all into somebody who's active and who just really wants to do exciting different things. And, you know, it could be a cost-effective strategy. Sometimes some of the best times in my life I've spent just laying on a bench in a park next to the Hudson River down by Hoboken or Jersey City. Where I'm from Jersey City Heights, so, you know, we have water, we have the view to New York City, and we have a lot of water.
It's beautiful. Yeah, you got a lot of water. Yeah, you're right.
For sure. And there's a lot of awesome restaurants and a lot of, you know, small businesses are opening up. We have a very good leadership in our city right now, who's our mayor, Stephen Fulop, and he's done a wonderful job in cultivating a lot of small businesses. I'm sorry we're talking about politics. Instead, I just let them know that I resigned from my position doing government relations for higher education in December of 2017. And I kind of said, hey, I needed something different. I kind of grew out of the role, and I wanted to just try something different, give myself the opportunity to really kind of pursue my passion. And I told him, I said, I just went on like a eat, pray, and love. So I was born in Cali, Colombia, and that's where I decided to go. I decided to go back to my country and reconnect with my roots. And I found out that Colombian men are extremely romantic.
Is that right?
And they are very, very gentlemen. Like, so.
Yeah, something that they need to adapt in America.
Yeah, I think so. Because, I mean, I had people opening my door, you know, and closing it, making sure I get in and get out. I was like, wow, when was the last time that happened to me in the U.S.?
That's foreign over here.
Only when I used to call, you know, Sam, the executive driver, he would open the door and close it when I would get in, you know. So, you know, I really like that. And it was just, you know, friends that you would meet, friends of friends, but, you know, very gentlemanlike. And I think men, guys listening out there, I think girls really find that really awesome, that you can treat women like it's supposed to be, a little bit old-fashioned style. It has nothing to do with, you know, being machoistic or we're living in a gender structured society or you're too independent woman. No, just being a gentleman can go a long way.
And it's funny that you say that, and I'm glad you said it, because there's some women that are appalled by that, and they feel like that old-fashioned is kind of like putting women down, like women can't do things for themselves. And there's some people who say they're feminists, but it's really a one-sided thing, and they kind of feminism is really fighting for both parties, male and female, both rights, but for some women, feminism is just one-sided, which I find like you guys are not feminists at all.
Let me just say like this. For me, for example, I started working at 13. I come from a very strong work ethic from my family. You know, we're Colombian, we work hard. And you know, I grew up here in America. You know, I arrived here when I was like 6 years. I was like 5.5. I was like turning 6, and I got here, and I was raised here. And for me to be able to have the experience to go back to my country now in my early 30s and spend like 2 months, 8 weeks there, and see the style, I kind of like it. I like a man to open the door for me, and I don't see as an independent woman that there's anything bad for that. I'm like, wow, I feel really special. Here I am, you know, being independent for a very long time, and to have a man open the door and have a man close the door, wait for me to sit inside and close the door, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And that has nothing to do whether I believe in, of course I would believe in women's rights. I believe that women need to cultivate independence, take care of their own things. Makes you feel good as a human being, and you know, whether you're a woman or not. But I think that we can cultivate that here. I think we're kind of forgetting. We're treating each other like with no respect. We're treating each other like, okay, whatever, we're on a date, okay, so let me take out my phone and let me bore you. And there's nothing for the type of person that I am. I love a good conversation. Any topic. We could talk about politics, we could talk about hip-hop, we could talk about reggaeton, we can talk about how was France, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, international business. I mean, give me good conversation. What's going on in musical trends, what's going on in fashion. And I think that's good. It's having stimulating. We need to have that. We've lost a lot of the what you call soft skills.
Yeah.
Being able to interact face to face with somebody because of so much technology. But I feel that if we use technology and we're still able to maintain that human touch, I mean, the world can definitely continue to be a very progressive and better place.
Now, what would you say is a perfect scenario other than the dialogue? Because, you know, everybody's pulling out their cell phones for some reason.
I mean, you know, you're going on a date. So you're interested in getting to know this person, correct?
Correct.
I mean, I haven't been on the dating scene for a while, so I'm trying to somebody can call in, somebody can say, give me some tips on the best app to go for. It's terrifying for me.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to my younger sibling Carolina. We have a decade of difference. You know, she's younger, and she was like, "Dude, there's so many apps out there. Why don't you just check them out?" I'm like, "Apps? What do you mean? I'm gonna have a date with somebody through my cell phone?"
Nah, it don't work. I'm sorry. I tried it. It really doesn't work. It really removes the human to human connection, because what happens is there's a certain validation that women on there, like not all of them, but most of them, they just have it just to know that people just come at them and whatnot. So you'll have guys approach you, and then obviously they'll say some basic stuff, but I feel like it's just waiting there. You know what I'm saying? So the apps might work for you, but for men, it does not work.
Well, I don't know. I can't talk. I'm not a man. So you're telling me it doesn't work for men. I can't see it working for me either. I mean, what do people do now? Do they go to bars and meet people? Do they start dating through work?
I think,
if that's the case, I need to get a job ASAP.
Honestly, I think the best thing to do is there's a site called meetups.com, and it's like different type of events where you could go dancing.
Meetups.com. Okay,
yeah.
Dancing. Oh,
yeah. So
I like
like
that. Some salsa.
Some salsa, some bachata,
Okay.
merengue, but it has different events. Like you can go to like photography workshops, cooking workshops, and pretty much by going to those events that happen, you're putting yourself out there and communicating with people on a one-on-one level versus relying on an app. Imagine you hit up someone and then like 24 hours later they respond. I rest my case.
Okay, speechless.
Yes, right? So instead of you talking to a person, they're not going to ignore you for 24 hours. It's done. So they have to respond at that very moment.
Okay, so as he's talking about it, I'm looking at meetup.com, and I'm like, okay, a group where people, you know, you can meet people near you and share your interests. Well, look at that. I learned something new today. Thanks.
See, problem solved.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I feel like that's definitely the best way to actually do it versus relying on like those dating apps, which it's really, it has its own intention. Like if you're on like apps like Tinder or something like that, like there's honestly, you can't be on there saying I'm looking for friends. That is not what the app is for. And people are on there and they're like, oh, you know, I'm looking for friends or this and that, third. People capitalizing, and it's just I feel like most of the dating apps, they really don't work. I think the best option is to go out there and meet people and have fun. Actually, just have fun yourself. You'll meet somebody. People are attracted to energy. If you're positive, people come to you, and that's it. Because you see in a party, the guys have so much fun, so much energy, and or the females have so much fun, so much energy. You are drawn to that energy.
You want to know where they get that energy?
Where they get that energy?
Come and inject me with some of your energy.
Exactly. from whose perspective?
Well, it depends. We'll leave it up to the universe.
Exactly. So it's a matter of that. So no one wants to be next to a person that's like super, super negative. They're a Debbie Downer, and they're like, oh, blah blah blah. What happens to those people? People move away from them. That's what really happens. But if you're positive, encouraging, doing all those types of stuff, dancing, having fun, people are gonna come to you like, oh, I'm down, but I know if I'm next to this person, I'm gonna have so much energy, and boom, 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 and then that's how things really go about.
That's 100% real. What you just said, that. Yep, and I can attest to that. Absolutely. Any day that I wake up not feeling in the best mood ever, it's just you don't want to be around anyone because you don't really want to give them that vibe,
Exactly.
So you just wait for you to just, mentally get back on track, get physical, and really get into a positive mind frame, and then just let the universe take its course, because believe it or not, that works. People are always like, oh, well, I don't know if it works. No. Affirmations and being in a positive mindset are like 100% real, the real deal there, dudes. It's like for real.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because I'll ask you a question. Would you go to the movies by yourself? I rest my case.
I mean, have I gone? No, I can't say I have. I've been tempted to just buy a ticket and go by myself, but no, I rather always go with somebody else.
Do you have to?
I don't have to go with somebody else. I could go by myself if I want, but sometimes you just don't want a company, want to be able to share that. But you can go to the movies by yourself, guys. Just like people go to a bar by themselves and end up meeting people.
Exactly. So I go to movies all by myself all the time.
Really? Yeah. And how is that experience?
I don't think about it. I just literally go buy my ticket and watch a movie. I used to be like, blah blah, and then some people look at me weird. Oh, you go by yourself, and they look at me like, oh, he's so alone. I'm like, I feel happy. I go to movies. I have fun. I don't have to wait on people to hurry up and miss my time slot. I just go do what I gotta do, watch my movies, and then that's it. And I feel like that also helps you as a person to know that you don't need anybody else to feel happy, because if you need somebody to make yourself feel happy, it's not gonna go well for you, because that means you're always gonna rely on someone to dictate whether you're happy or not. You don't want to bring that into a relationship. You kind of want to go in like, I could be okay without myself. I'm not going to be nagging you or a level 5 clinger. I'm good by myself. And then when those two people connect, they know they're not going to be overcrowding each other with emotions and clinging on to each other, because the more people hang out with each other, people just get tired of it. Especially you hang out 24/7.
Oh, I don't know about 24/7.
Yeah, there's people that do it.
Like I said, I'm getting off of long-term relationship, and I'm on the mission of getting to know myself again, and she's pretty amazing, and I'm liking her again. I'm reminding myself, wow, I missed that girl. Where was she all these years? So I'm in a good place right now, and I know that I'm getting better and better every day. And, I'm just so grateful that, sometimes in life, we have to realize when something just is not working. Like there's you in a relationship and you don't feel happy in that relationship. And the person in one way or another has done something that's not necessarily a good thing and, has hurt you in one way or another. I think you need to realize that, this is a one lifetime.
Yeah,
we're only going to be here on earth roaming as who we are once in this lifetime, and sometimes it's hard to let go.
It is.
It's not easy to let go, but once you let go, you realize that, okay, so here's it's like a book. You read this book, you close the chapter, the finale, and then now you're like opening a brand new book. and it's like full of wonder and adventure because it still hasn't been written, but you know that what you want moving forward is something positive, good, and a good foundation. And I think key aspects of a good relationship are respect, loyalty, and open communication, in my opinion.
Communication is definitely key, and that's what you want to bring to the table when you're meeting somebody. Like I wrote a script, and one of the lines from the antagonist of the story was mentioning that pretty much we meet people in a date as and we introduce ourselves as strangers. So we're strangers and we introduce ourselves as strangers. So it's like a double negative. So you're not really showing a person who you are until you decide you want to let them know who you really are. So are you really telling the truth from the jump? Essentially,
from the jump, since you use that terminology, I feel like jump, Chris Cross is gonna make you jump. Okay, from the jump, be yourself.
Right?
You know what I mean? Be yourself, whether people find you awkward, weird, different, whatever. Be yourself. There's nothing better than being yourself, because you know when you're yourself, you don't got to remember any scripts.
Exactly. And that's the thing. When people are like, oh, you know, well, she's not gonna like who I am. If she don't like you who you are,
then you shouldn't be with them.
You shouldn't be with them. That's the number one thing. If they don't like you for your weirdness at that very point that you met them, or they're very distant, or just end it right there. Don't try to pretty much conform yourself to their personality, and so you could be accepted by them. Because at the end of the day, what happens when you just slip up and you forget the script and you become yourself, and they're like, oh, you acting different. No, I'm not. This has been me.
This is who I am. Yeah, just be real. You know, I think we're living in a world now that people are trying to always change us, make us something different, and I'm always like, wow, and the world is always trying to constantly change who we are as people. I'm trying to stay real. Like, this is me, you know? And I think it's important for us to go back to that, realization that, hey, you can be yourself. We can be whoever we want to be, as long as, you know, we are able to, you know, spread light and good positive energy. And I believe in the law of the universe, and I know that it's so powerful, that you really just have to know exactly what you want, manifest it all the time. It's not going to happen tomorrow. Say, some of us are luckier than others. But just stay in that frequency, and the frequency of positive energy, of being able to be, you know, give people good vibes, you know, compliment each other. You'll be surprised. Sometimes I tell somebody, I see a woman, you know, I'm like, wow, you have a really nice blazer. I really like it. I love the color. First of all, I was being real. I did like the blazer and I love the color. And, you know, I think we're living in a society that sometimes people are like, what? Why is she talking like that? Oh, what's wrong? Exactly. It's like, no, stay open. Sometimes that little compliment can go a long way for somebody, you know?
People are afraid to...
Don't be afraid.
Exactly. To disappoint people or to be rejected. I think the number one thing is rejecting. So you put out that emotion like in a positive light, and someone's like, don't be talking about me and blah, blah, this, that, and third. And like, and you're just like, whoa, I'm just trying to be nice. But apparently that's... People said, you know what? Instead of feeling like that or starting that kind of confrontation, let's just avoid it altogether.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I walk away from it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it might not be a good thing. I'm working on that. I guess every day I'm acknowledging areas of improvement. Thank God. But I'm doing pretty well. You know, I feel like we're 88% there. We're working on the 12%. I think we're doing good when it comes to rates.
Exactly. As long as there's progress and whatnot, and you know you're moving in a way opposite of where you were before, that's a great thing. Because if you haven't moved yet, then that means you, not to say it's not a hopeless act, but that means you still need more work. You and you just need to take one step at a time, move forward, and understand that, I'm not gonna say it gets better because it's cheesy, but the situation is, if you're rock bottom and you keep walking straight, eventually you're gonna hit the beach.
And it all starts with self-love.
Self-love.
If you could learn to love yourself, if you could learn to love everything about who you are and what makes you who you are, then that's primal. That's exactly what we need in this world. And I am who I am. I always say, sometimes they're like, oh, you're a little loquita, you're a little crazy. I'm like, and what? This is who I am, love me or or just don't love me. But at the same, I don't want to change who I am. I'm a highly intellectual. I love people. I love helping others, and I feel like we just, I'm looking for that vibe, for like that other excellent human beings out there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go on that frequency. So everyone out there, that's the frequency I'm following.
So frequency is therapy without a degree, if you want to vibe with that. But
totally.
Yeah, I mean, what's your Instagram handle if you have like something that people could reach out to you?
It's Isa, like ISA, love, LOVE 288. Isa Love 288. If anybody wants to follow me on Instagram.
No pun intended with the love part.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's Isa Love 288. I have it on my Instagram. Think like a proton and stay positive.
Oh, wow, that's pretty funny. If people don't laugh at that means they gotta go.
Well, it's okay if they don't laugh about it. I find it very funny because I like science, I love technology, I love politics, and I love art and music. So,
Wow, the love of the world.
Yeah, seriously, I could practically say that. Yeah.
That's awesome. So we're gonna wrap up that little question. Guys, stay tuned. We will be back.